Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguram Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Namadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the 12th chapter of Panchadasi, and there Vidyaranya talks about the happiness that one gets, and even the Vishayananda, even the object related happiness or object source of happiness seems to be the objective world, but even that is only coming from the Brahmananda only, depending on the reflection of the Ananda, and the reflection depends upon the mind that is being quietened when the desire is fulfilled. And here he says even the love for the son is due to love for oneself only, because the self-love is pure love. And when I say I get my love from I love my son, only because in the presence of that my mind is calm and serene and peaceful. And when he says that, a student objects, because he says, how can you say that love for the son is less than love for yourself? Because Upanishad says that the son is nothing but reflection of your own self, or Atma evi putravanam iti. So the Upanishad statement is itself says that Atma is nothing but the son is nothing but your own Atma. That's what this statement of Upanishad. So how can you say that your love for son is less than your love for yourself? And he's giving a additional justification to say that your love for the son should not be any more less than love for yourself. Number one, he says all the karmas and the punyas are due to son once you hand over, because your own self, therefore you can hand over, and when he performs, it is as though you are performing, so he is as good as you only, it cannot be any less than you. That's the first statement. We go further in the 35th sloka. Satyapyatmani lokestu Satyapyatmani lokosti na putrasyata evahi anusishtam putrameva lokyamahur manishinaha together. Satyapyatmani lokosti na putrasyata evahi anusishtam putrameva lokyamahur manishinaha. So ataha evam, therefore atmani sati, even the self is in the form of the father is, even when he is alive, api. That means even when the father is alive, the son is acts as though as the self only, api. So, and the fact that aputrasya lokaha nasti manishinaha, for people, if they don't have son, they cannot have, they are not free from the narakam, putra narakam. So the type of narakam, lokaha, here is lokaha standard is essentially the hell that one has to go. I should not use the word hell, but narakam that one will be going if he doesn't have a putram. So if he doesn't have a son. So aputrasya, that the loka means higher lokas nasti anishanaha, and anusishtam, and this is the instruction, proper instruction for the son is mantraha. So there is an instruction, say mantra, the mantra is taught to the son when before after his upanayanam or so. Putramevahi lokasya ahu, therefore the son itself is a representation of your own self, and that's how the mantras are also being taught also. So I don't know which mantras are there. Putra eva hi lokasya ahuhu. And this instruction for this son is that you act on my behalf. And this is true for even for the transactional world also. Once you retire, you hand over to your son all the responsibility so that he can act on your behalf also. And that's what essentially being addressed here. So traditionally the instruction for the son is that you be responsible for my actions, for my karmas, you can take over or something. That's a tradition. So in the next sloka he clarifies this. Manushya loko janyaha Manushya loko janyaha syat putra naivetar I can't read it. Putra naiveta renino mumurshar mantra et putram mumurshar mantra et putram tvam brahmotyadi mantrakaihi manushya loko jayaha syat putrena no mumurshar mantra et putram tvam brahmatyadi mantrakaihi. So in the world of mantras that are being, we talk about Pitruloka, Manushya Loka Putrena Eva, though to the son alone, that so Jayaha Syat is attainable. The higher lokas are attainable because of the son only. Itarena no, not otherwise. So you need a son, and that's why they say you need a son in order for you to not to go to Naraka, so go to higher lokas and enjoy the higher worlds. Itarena now, not the other means. Mumurshuhu, the dying father. Tvam Brahma, you are Brahman. Ityadi mantrakaihi, ityadi mantra. This he says Tvam Brahma, Tvam Atma, and all that he will be doing that to the son. So ityadi mantrakaihi, by such mantras, putram mantrayet. The son will be initiated to Vedic rituals also in the maybe Upanayanam time. Says the instructions are given by the father only to this son. So therefore the world of mortals is attained through the son alone, and without that, and the dying father must initiate the son by mantra like you are Brahman and so on and so forth. And this is continuous in the next sloka. Ichadi strutayaha prahuhu Ichadi strutayaha prahuhu putra bharyadi seshatam laukika api putrasya pradhanyamanu manvate together. Ichadi strutayaha prahuhu putra bharyadi seshatam laukika api putrasya pradhanyamanu manvate. So ichadi srutayaha, like this such a scriptural statement is only giving an example that Tvam Brahma, Tvam Atma and so on. The statements are there in the Upanishad. So before the ritual, before the dying father gives the son instructions in terms of that this is what you have to take over. If the father is having enough sense to give that instructions. So Ichadaha Srutayaha, scriptural statement like this, it says Putra Bharyadi Seshatau. So the usefulness of the son and the wife are being prescribed, because he cannot do any ritual without wife. So wife is required even to do karma, and therefore she is a reflection of his own Atma in the performance of in some of the rituals, and he hands over to the son, and son takes over as the karta for some of the rituals also. So Putra Bharyadi Seshatam Prahuhu. This is what the scripture says. And it says, Laukika hapi, even for worldly affairs also, forget about these scriptures, even laukikaha api, even for worldly people also, or laukika, putrasya pradhanam anumanvate. So the pradhanam, the importance of the son is accepted even from in the laukika, in the worldly affairs also. Because when there is son, you want to hand over your company, your this one and all that, and the properties have been distributed to the son. Therefore, he can take over. So, importance of the son is accepted. So, anumanvate is accepted by laukikahapi. Even the worldly people also accept. Therefore, you cannot say that love for the son is any more less than love for yourself. That is the conclusion. So, concluding this, one more sloka. Swasmin mrutepi putradihi, swasmin mrutepi putradihi, jivet vittadina yatha, jivet vittadina yatha, tathaiva yatnam kurute, tathaiva yatnam kurute, mukhyaha putradayastataha, mukhyaha putradayastataha. Together. Swasmin mrutepi putradihi, jivet vittadina yatha, tathaiva yatnam kurute, mukhyaha putradayastataha. So, swasmin mrutepi putradihi. Swasmin mrutepi, although one is approaching death here, so putraha adau vitta adina. So for sons, etc., and vitta adina, and the wealth, everything else is being distributed to the son only, to make sure that my son is well equipped, well property will be handed over to him, so that he is going to be comfortable, because I extend into my son now, so I have to be comfortable when he is comfortable. So that's how the Atma is reflected in the son. So people earn not only for themselves, for living, they earn so much that they can pass it on to their sons also. That is what we see in the world. And therefore, love for the son cannot be any more less than love for oneself. That's the whole idea. Yatha jivid, one should live happily. My son should live happily. Therefore, I am handing over more and more wealth. I am earning more and wealth so that my son will be happy. In fact, I may be struggling hard, but I want to make sure my son is happy, because I extend into my son also. So, tatham eva yatra kurute. So, all the yantram kurute. So, for that only one strives hard, working hard, so that my son is more comfortable, even though I am working 24 hours to make money, so that my son is comfortable. Therefore, son is very important. Don't say that love for son is any less than. That is the whole idea. So this is essentially is one more sloka maybe. Bhadame tavatatma, bhadame tavatatma, sesho bhavati kasyachit, sesho bhavati kasyachit, gaunamiccha mukhya bhedaihi, gaunamiccha mukhya bhedaihi, atmaya bhavati tatha, atmaya bhavati tatha. Together, bhadame tavatatma, sesho bhavati kasyachit, gaunamiccha mukhya bhedaihi, atmaya bhavati tithartata. Atmaya bhavati tatha. So here the answer is given by the Vidyaranya for all these slokas, or for all the doubt that is expressed by the student, because love for Atma cannot be less than that. That is a scriptural statement. Since scripture says so, you have to justify it. So how do you justify it? Here it is. Badham. Badham means let us see. Yeta vata, by the son, Atma self, kasyachitu, and by anyone else, Sesha Nabhavati, does not become means for happiness. Let's see what it says. If son is going to give you the more happiness than your own self, then it's not really true. Why? It says that does not become, even though son gives you happiness, he cannot give you more happiness for then your own self, because son's happiness is for your own happiness only. So what you count is only your own happiness, not the son's happiness. That is only when he says that my Atma is reflected, that statement is used in a Gauna Atma, Gauna Pradhanam. In the sense, it is a figurative statement. Gauna means here, Gauna Mithya Mukhya Bedaihi. So it has to be taken as a secondary meaning, not the primary meaning here. Primary meaning is you are yourself is correct, whereas when you say Atma, my son is Atma, you have to take it as in the secondary sense only. That's what the explanation here is. How do you say that? He gives an example here in the next sloka. Devadattasu simhaha ayamityaikyam gaunametayoho. Vedadattasu simhaha ayamityaikyam gaunametayoho. Vedasya bhavamanatvat Vedasya bhadamanatvat Vedasya bhasamanatvat Putrade ratmata tatha. Putrade ratmata tatha. So the statement here is giving there is a primary meaning, there is a secondary meaning, and there is a tertiary meaning also. One has to take depending upon what is really valid. Here the primary meaning is I am Atma Brahma. That is what primary meaning is. Secondary meaning is this son is my Atma. So there you have to take a secondary meaning, not the primary meaning. Why? It says Devadattastu Simhaha. This Devadatta is a lion. If you say Devadattaha tu Simhaha, means he is indeed a lion. So when you say that, it's not that there is a Devadatta and lion. You cannot compare Devadatta equal to lion. He is like a lion means he is as though lion means he is behaving and you treat them, or he is as good as lion, or depending upon how you use lion. So in the same way, Devadatta is not a real, the primary meaning that you cannot say Devadatta is lion. Brahmadatta is secondary meaning. He behaves as though a lion, or he is as courageous as lion, depending upon the application of what Devadatta is doing. So for that you have to say Gauna Pradhanam. So you have to use the secondary meaning or indicatory meaning, not the primary meaning. So I am Devadatta tu Simha. This Devadatta is a lion, should not be taken on a literally sense. Iti etayoho, in this way, the Aikyam Gaunaha, the identity Devadatta is equal to lion, that statement has to be, that Aikya statement, the identity statement has to be interpreted by secondary way, not the primary meaning. That's what Aikyam Gaunam, the oneness that is stated has to be taken as secondary. So Bheda Swabhava Manatvad. Why? Because there is a difference between a lion and a Devadatta. Devadatta is a human being, lion is an animal, and Devadatta is not an animal. So you cannot take a primary meaning because of the Bheda Bhavam. Therefore, you have to take. So same way, Tata Putradau Atmata. Similarly, son has to be taken Atma self. So when for example, when the father is hungry, you can ask the son to eat. Because if he says same Atma, so let him eat so that my hunger is satisfied. So you cannot say that statement Atma vai Putra and so on. You cannot say so let him eat, then my stomach is full. So that has to be used in a proper sense. What application is? Gauna Pradhanam. Secondary meaning has to be taken. So that's what he's saying essentially. So it justifies further. Vedoste panchakosheshu sakshino datu bhatsaso. So in this case, Devadatta has to Simha. In that example, it is Devadatta is different from Simha. It's only one aspect of the Simha is being compared with Devadatta. So that is one kind of Gauna Pradhanam. The second kind of identity equation that we all do, and that's what is going to be specified here. Vedostu panchakosheshu sakshino natu bhatsaso mithyatvatvataha koshanam sanoschau atmayatha. Vedosti panchakosheshu sakshino natu bhatsaso. Mityatmatvatah koshanam stanauscha atmayatha. So now say, I am equal to this body. I am this body. So when somebody touches body, I say, you are touching me. So I am being touched. I am being pushed. I am fat. I am lean. I am white. I am black. All these association, I am, depending upon identification with the body, with the panchakoshas. Annamaya kosha, then pranamaya kosha, then manomaya kosha, then vijnanamaya kosha, then anandamaya kosha. I am identifying each one. So I am not the body because I am different from the body, because this comes under this. This is Krishna talks extensively in the 13th chapter. He talks about kshetram, kshetrajnaha. Kshetram is field, and kshetragyam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So I am the real knower in all kshetras. So I am the original Satchidananda Swarupam that is getting reflected in all kshetras. But in each one there is a kshetrajnaha, that because of which particular kshetram is known by particular one. But I am the one who is really making everything work also. That's why aham vaishwanaro bhutva paninam deham asritaha pranapana samayuktaha pasamyannam chaturvidam. So I am the Vaishwanara in all beings. That is one that who is really pumping the blood, pumping the heart, circulating the food. Every cell is getting the nourishment, not because of you, because of me only. So that's how Krishna gives in different statements in terms of he is the one who really does it. But we claim that I am the doer. So that is our problem. Our notion is that I am a doer. That's why pravucheva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvasaha ya pasyati tatmanam akartaram sa pasyati. All things are being done by Prakriti only. We unnecessarily go and claim that I am a doer, and therefore I suffer the consequence of that action. But here it says Panchakosha. It says Vedosti Panchakosheshu. So they are different from me. Why? In the Mandukya Upanishad, it says in the deep sleep state, he talks about I am a waker, I am a dreamer, I am deep sleep state. And then in go to 7, Chaturtham Manyanti Satma, says there I am none of these. Says Nanta Pragyahana, Bahi Pragyahana, Obhayata Pragyahana, Pragyana Ganam Na Pragyahana, Pragyahana. And then it says Adrushtam, and Avyayam, then says Pratyopajaram, Ekopanachasam. And then say Advaitam Chaturtham Manyan, say Sa Atma. That is the Atma, where Mantra 7 tells. And that is not any of the koshas are rejected. It is Anta Pragyam, Na Bhahi Pragyam, No Bhayata Pragyam, Na Pragyana Ganam, Na Pragyam. None of these. And I am Adrushtam, Avyayam. And that is Prapanchoshamam, Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Chaturtham Manyanti. That I am. So that is called Sakshi. Here, so Vedostu Panchakosheshu Sakshino Natu Bhatsaso. So that which is different from this, but we are equating I am the body. When the mind is body suffering, I am suffering. When the mind is suffering, disturbed, I am disturbed. When the intellect is accomplished, I have accomplished. All that I am identifying with the particular koshas, that's only has to be understood as is only identity, but not real identity. It's only because of foolishness we are identifying. That's called moham. Moham is nashto moha smutir labdha tat prasadena mayachyuta. See, this is a delusion. Delusion is taking what I am not as I am. That is the delusion. And that delusion is due to not knowing who we are truly. So here mithyatvataha, due to the mithya atma, where I am taking the false as I am. And that is what essentially mithyatvataha koshanam stanohu stanoschaha atmatayatha, where in the stano, in this it is example is in the post, one is taking that he is a thief is standing there. Why? Because he looks like something standing up and then with the head or something like that. So from a distance, because I am not having a clear vision, then I take as though a thief is standing there. What is standing is only a post, innocent post. And post is actually inert, and a thief is a living entity. But I am superimposing something other than what it is on that. So inert entity is there, but I am superimposing a Chaitanya Vastu on top of inert, and then I am afraid of that. The same way, I am superimposing the conscious entity on this. I am this. This is an inert entity, the body, because we leave the body and go, and therefore it is a matter only. But I am identifying with that. I am superimposing myself as I am this. In the same way, this is Putra, is also I am, is only superimposition for certain things to be done, which I cannot do. And that's what is the implication of that statement is here. So this is a different type. This is the Devadatta Simha. That's a different where Devadatta is different from completely Simham. But we are only using for some particular purpose. But here we are daily using this. I am this. I am this. I am this. I am this. All the time, from morning to evening, from day and whole life itself. Not only life after life we have been using, and only by Vedantic study we know that I am not this, I am something other than this. So I am different from Kshetram, I am Kshetrajna. And who is the Kshetrajna? Then Krishna explains is Kshetragyam cha apimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu. I am not only in this Kshetrajna, every Kshetrajna, I am the real Kshetrajna. So that is what one has to know, and that's what, for that you have to study Vedanta or Gita. So here Vidyaranya answers the student question, says don't take the statement of the scriptures that the sun is the Atma, it's only Gauna Pradhanam. And he has given now, there are three types of statements. One is Pradhanam, direct word meaning. The second is the Gauna Pradhanam, where the statement like Devadatta Simha. The third type is essentially the Bedha, where Panchakoshas, and I am really different, but I am in and through these koshas, because for transactional purposes I need these koshas. I cannot transact in the world without the body, without the mind, without the intellect. So I have to occupy it for transactions, but the occupying has to be understood that I am only using this for a vehicle to transact, but I am not this. This is only a vehicle for my transactions. That becomes a knowledge, and that's what is a jnani is. Nabhati bhedo napyasti, nabhati bhedo napyasti, sakshino pratiyoginaha, sakshino pratiyoginaha. Sarvantaratvat tasyaiva mukhyamaatmatvam ishyate together. Navadi bedo napyasti sakshino pratiyoginaha sarvantaratvat tasyaiva mukhyamaatmatvam ishyate. So apratiyoginaha. So apratiyoginaha, there is no second without a second. That sakshinaha, the witness, vedaha nabhati, there is no difference of seen. Here we have to be careful. What is sakshi? Sakshi is a witnessing consciousness. So who is a witness? It is a witness from the point of witnessed only. From the point of the one sakshi, there is nothing, no sakshyam. It is like saying that the reflection is occurring from the reflected medium. There is a reflecting original light. From the original point, there is nothing of this, because that's Brahman. From the Brahman point, there is no creation. Why? Because it is a Brahman. Why? Because Brahman is infinite, and creation was a modification, and infinite cannot undergo modification, and infinite cannot have any finites in that, because it is infinite. That's the definition of infinite is there is no differentiation of sajati vijati swagata beda rahitam, and that is called pure existence. Existence cannot have differences in that, and Chaitanyam is Brahman, Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is infinite, so there is no unconscious entities there. But if there is unconscious entities, then that is not really real. It's called Mithyatvam. Why? Because just as when I go to dream, I am projecting the whole dream world there, that my mind is projecting the whole, there chara acharam, means there are movable, immovable, everything is there. All that is, there is a Chaitanya Vastu, there are living beings as well as non-living beings. I am creating myself in the dream world. and I enter into my own dream world as a subject in the dream world, and then look at the dream world and say this is different from me. It is a statement by a dream subject doesn't say that, oh, this is all my own projection. It is the waker's mind projection. A dreamer's mind thinks that this is different from me, just as I am seeing everything is different, and he is different, she is different, the tiger that is chasing me is different from me. I created the tiger and I let it chase. So say, the fellow asks, is the tiger, are you going to kill me? He says, you decide whether I'm going to kill you or not, because it's your dream. So I created a dream, I created a tiger, I am afraid of the tiger and I am running away from the tiger. This is all, but for a dreamer, dream is not a dream. For him it's a real. Only when I'm awakened to the highest state of consciousness, I recognize that that whole thing is nothing but mithya. It was there, appears to be, but it's not really real. Same way is a mithyattvam. So nabhati beda api asti sakshina pratiyogana. There is sakshi doesn't have anything other than itself. From pure consciousness there is no. But looking at the moon, I am seeing the sunlight and the moonlight actually, because sunlight is falling on it, which I cannot see. What I am seeing is only moonlight. But looking at the moonlight, I have to recognize the sunlight. So that's what Vedanta is. Looking at your own mind, consciousness, recognize the original consciousness that is enlivening that mind. That is jnana. So there are two lights, but original light is the one that gives you secondary light. But looking at the reflected light, I have to see the original light. I cannot see the original light because that is infinite. I cannot see. But it's only through jnana chakshu. Jnana chakshu means the wisdom eye. I have to recognizing of the truth. That is what jnana means. That's why the Shiva has the third eye. Third eye stands for the jnana chakshu, where one has to see through knowledge only the truth. We'll go back into this more as he discusses this, and that's how he is explaining one by one, and how the Shastras are interpreting, and what should be, or how it should be understood also. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnavadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.